Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Hello.
Wow. Wait, climb up here. There, that's better.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm going to have to show a picture because John's already got the other. For everybody watching in Ringgold tonight, especially if you work for Publix, you're not going to get a truck tonight.
You may not get one tomorrow neither.
It's sort of stuck.
Yes.
And
what's funny is nearest Publix is up on 2A up in Fort Hill.
What was he even doing down there?
Probably coming up from Dalton.
Or getting lost.
Let's see here. This is what he had to drive through to make that truck get stuck in that predicament. Okay. Truck route. Okay. Truck over height, turn right when flashing. It's solar powered and the lights flip on if your truck is over height. So it flashes lights in your face.
Turn it on, John.
Here, you have to show it, John.
There we go. I'm sorry. Do that again. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Truck route. Okay. Truck over height, turn right when flashing, solar powered, okay, 11 feet, 7 inches high, okay, and there's the bridge with the flashy lights on it that he has to drive under. Okay, this is the truck detour, and you can see the white truck over here doing the right thing and taking the detour, which will take him up here.
And not underneath that very low bridge.
Very short bridge. Okay, let's put it this way. They had to put a walking bridge alongside the train bridge because people kept hitting their heads underneath the bottom of the bridge here when they were walking under it. So,
yeah. Hello, Donna. Well, my front yard made the county news tonight.
I saw that. What happened?
Fella was coming down that very, very dangerous S-curve that my house is in the middle of, and his throttle jammed wide open. And he stood on the brakes and still went completely off the road, rolled upside down, and slammed against that sweet gum tree that I've been wanting to cut down because it's a weed, but I'm beginning to think that maybe I should just keep that sweet gum there as a castle wall since cars are crossing my moat regularly.
Matter of fact, you might want to plant several of them sweet gum trees.
They plant themselves. I don't have to plant anything. I'd much rather have cedars, but
Dan, I was at HallowCon's, and there was this lady selling rocks and talisman and all that. She was selling sweet gum balls $1 a piece.
why?
I don't know, but fools were buying it.
Why? Hello, Dawn. Hi.
There's supposedly something in fortune telling and protection spells and stuff like that.
That's like protecting. That's like planting kudzu because you don't like mowing the grass.
It's been done.
It's been done. No. John shared the bridge incident. She doesn't have a wrench, so she can't share the video or photo that she was going to show us.
So, Dan, all I'm going to do is say, don't cut the sweet gum tree down. You're a billionaire.
Believe me, if he'd gone another 10 or 15 yards sideways off the road, I'd have been broke because he'd have wrecked all 3 of my cars.
The gum is used both medicinally and for making chewing gum.
Yeah, but she was selling the little spiky balls as talisman stuff.
Oh, this is seeds things.
Yeah, the seed pod things, yeah. Although they open up and get spiky after they've dropped all the seeds out.
Yeah, that's what she was selling. The spiky ball.
The empty seed pods. Yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, she was making bank on garbage.
Basically, it's like the same thing as people selling.
Oh, yeah, those things. Sticker
expanded.
Balls. Yeah, okay.
Expanded pine cones. After they've already dropped the pine nuts out on the forest floor.
Oh, you saw that picture I posted in Stupid O'Clock of the dog? What hell kind of teeth are... Oh, never mind. It's a pine cone in a dog's mouth. Looks like some hellhound.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Those little balls are selling in a 200... They're putting them in a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. They're putting 200 of them in a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. Selling them for $35 for 200 in a Ziploc bag for arts and crafts on eBay.
Dan?
No. That'd be just like there was a lady up near Carl and Donna that wanted me to dig up some kudzu and mail it to her so she could grow kudzu to take the vines and strip them down for fibers for weaving cloth.
You remember Charlie Grant? Do you, Dan and Joe? You don't remember Charlie Grant?
No.
He was HallowCon's favorite Yankee. Basically.
Okay.
And he got invited down to HallowCon every year, and they would give him Southern gifts. Okay. Like one year, he got a can of possum, roadkill possum. Just stuff like that.
I've seen that.
Okay. He 1 year they were trying to find. They said, "What's something we could get him that's a Southern gift?" And I said, "Let's get him a potted plant, kudzu." And unfortunately, because HallowCon is in January, we couldn't find any green kudzu. So
thank God. And Carl, yes, you're absolutely right. You're welcome, and I refuse to do it on the grounds that would violate several strategic arms limitation treaties. Mailing kudzu is about like mailing army worms to um, Southeast Asia to make up for dousing them with Agent Orange. I mean, my dad, during the army worm invasion we had down here, he just said, if they could have saved all that money developing that chemical and just dropped one burlap bag of army worms down there, and there'd be nothing but bare ground from the Philippines to Siberia in about a week. Um, there are evil things that people could do, but some of us are not evil enough to do them.
Oh, and John, you missed the green room last night. I had a good joke. I can't tell it here, but
I don't believe it. No.
Let's just say he had a joke.
hey, it put Josh Kemp in the floor rolling.
Well, yeah. Thankfully, we don't have Josh as the quality control officer for the green room, but let's hear Carl's opinion. Rolling on the floor, as is pointed out, in agony. That was so dad joke, even Zach wouldn't have told it. Good Lord. One thing I've got to say about Joe Dog's jokes. It's like one of Uncle Carl's train wreck videos. You know exactly what's coming at the punchline. You just can't look away.
You got to keep watching.
Uh-huh. Carl asked a good question for you, Joe. Did the rocket print work out? He missed the end of it.
Hold on just a second. Complete. And the thing is, where you see silver, that's actually a filament change.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, it's not colored. Well, there's a little section right in here that I had to color green. A little section of this pipe and a little section of this pipe. But come to find out, if you look real close, the match is so good, it's silver Sharpie.
Hey, it works. And you had Donna worried there for a moment.
I have never done a show without pants on.
Have done several shows that were pants, but
And actually, you can see the filament change inside.
yeah, you can. That's pretty neat. Now, that wasn't the one that you were just showing me that kind of messed up on the way.
No, that's
That's the one he was trying to hide and wished I had never brought up.
yeah.
You see the irregularities in the bill, and there's a couple more in the printing of the pump. I noticed the pump before I noticed the irregularities in the bill, but oh dear.
What?
300 Muncie cards and several flat objects down in Terre Haute. Or Terre Haute, however you pronounce it. I don't know. I've never heard anybody from there say it, so...
I've always heard it Terre Haute, like The T's a G.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Well,
I used to listen to an AM radio station from that. Start to say alien radio station, but you know, it is in Yankee land. Um, no, I used to listen to an AM radio station. It was only powered up late at night from Terre Haute and Terre Haute. Okay. Well, it'll be Terre Haute when Dawn and Donna get there.
dang.
Excuse me. That was not a green room comment.
Dan,
Rhymes.
how do you like putting models together?
I used to love it, but I never followed the instructions. I just flipped to the back page. It was an exploded diagram where I could see where everything fit. They always wanted me to do stuff in order. Um, the exploded diagrams are just like, hey, this is the way an engineer would think of it. And I had been studying Dad's engineering stuff. Dawn.
Well, shoot, I can't find it.
Hey. I'm green rooming myself on that remark. Someone will remember it tomorrow night, I'm sure. I hope I remember the reply that I just stifled for not getting us demonetized in the off chance we ever get monetized.
Well, I can't find it. I was going to print you up a Space 1999 Eagle, but you had to glue it together.
Hey, that would be fun. I've actually got it's a two-way model. You can either build it as a space shuttle, or you could build it as a space shuttle sized lunar lander module that looks like it was based on the Eagle but had skin put on it, so the framework was covered up. I've never put it together. I've got a huge Enterprise model I've never put together. I got a model of I think it's the USS United States, the wooden sailing craft, and I did that exactly the way you were supposed to. I painted all the parts while they were still on the little frames, cut them out, filed down the little rough edges where they were in the little frames, repainted that, then started gluing stuff together, put the little plastic sails on, strung all the ropes. So now I know exactly how to rig a boat of that type with 3 masts and the whatever they call the one on the front spar and the kicker on the back. And I stopped doing models after that. I mean, it was fun. Lindsay complains about having to dust it, but you know, I've had it for years. Rob's here. Rob Sterling. thank you for the recommendation on your channel that people sign up to my channel. I really appreciate that. You're a gentleman, no matter what anybody says. Um, and Zach is here. I will bring him on.
All right.
3 people with ops, and you have to signal before you change lanes.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. It's playoff season.
Okay, I just wondered what blew up today that you were so excited about.
Oh, just our following. We kind of
Oh,
broke Space
okay.
Twitter yesterday, but
It has been an interesting past 2 days in space news. Okay.
yeah.
NASA was doing a drill. I should let Zach tell it, but I'll go ahead.
Go for it.
NASA was doing a drill on the space station. They practice, emergency procedures and stuff like this. And one of the things they were practicing was a medical evacuation, emergency medical evacuation. And the scenario goes, the commander of the International Space Station. Oh, let's, Joe, show off Joe's toy real quick. He can't wait.
Go ahead. I just got
Not too late. You done saw it on camera.
Yeah, he's. Why do I feel I should be playing the theme from 2001 as you slowly raise the engine up?
That is awesome. I was watching him print it and try to save it with multiple glues.
It went bad. I wasn't able to save. It was the Gibble toy.
It was the other one that you printed. That's the good one.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised it can print something that large.
That's why I did it, just to see how big I could print. That's it. 19 inches.
That's massive.
And he
Zach,
used
I
two
did the
different.
math. It's 1/6 scale.
Thing's huge.
Oh, the silver is not painted.
Yeah, that's the filament.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
look how it turned out inside.
Ooh, she clean.
That's where the methane injects.
Oh, that's cool.
Will, in a manner of speaking.
But yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
I like that. Out of
So you
all
printing
the
32
things
more,
Joe could have mentioned, he mentioned methane.
right?
It's
Where do you think SpaceX gets theirs? Taco Bell mostly, and donations.
Oh,
okay.
You
So
see a truck going down the road, these big old garbage bags on the back, and they look like they're just balloons. That's the methane donations.
So anyway, back to space.
Carl, I'm glad I didn't have a beer going about to take a sip of.
and
anyway.
I'm not going to talk about strip clubs tonight.
Why not?
Because I don't want to get us canceled.
So anyway, back into space news. They're having this drill. They're doing this exercise. in space.
Sorry, we scored.
And they're practicing a medical evaluation of the ISS commander. They basically tagged him as having the bends, basically decompression psychosis. Okay. So they're going through the procedure of how they will medevac him and where they will medevac him, depending on where in the flight they are. So they gotta stabilize him, get him onto his the Soyuz evacuation craft. Okay, and then they got to figure out where they're going to land this thing close to a hospital, so that he can get extracted and go through emergency procedures and such. Right. They do this sort of stuff on a regular basis, just part of their, training and stuff like that. The problem is something happened and they switched the communications frequency for this drill over to the public frequency. So people that were listening in on the NASA frequency thought that they were actually doing a medical evacuation from the International Space Station. And people were freaking out all over the place until finally they realized what was going on and announced, oh, this is kind of like, H.G. Wells or Orson Welles doing the
Orson Welles' War of the Worlds. I was just thinking that. Yeah.
90 minutes. It took them 90 minutes to be the topic trending on X, and us having released the audio clips and basically woke up the entire industry to realize, oops, we broadcasted this wrong, and then didn't say much else. They're just like, it's fine, the astronauts are asleep.
Yeah, that's
all.
Yeah, they're asleep. Yeah, for how long?
Are they going to wake up again?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's many questions. I'm shocked they didn't call a briefing with just how big of an incident it was, because it wasn't a little mix-up. It was a good 6.5 minutes of communications that went through. Those systems shouldn't even be connected in any way. I mean, if you've watched War Games, there is no way a sim should go real world. Period. We've had this issue even in the real world scenarios with the military with Hawaii. You don't let a sim go to the main system. They know this.
Without some officer with a key, needs to go over, unlock the box, flip the switch, and then it goes live.
Yeah. And then it ended. We did live updates on YouTube and everything. And for the last 26.5 hours, we have been now dealing with hate mail and attacks, which has been fun. So I put out a statement a couple hours ago being like, we stand by what we did. We'll always learn. Like, I won't put it past, we could have said possible emergency in the title. I won't say that we couldn't have done that. Absolutely, we could have. But that NASA feed since 1957 has been deemed a verified NASA to public communications link.
Until 2 days ago.
Until yesterday, that now suddenly anything that comes over it needs to be verified by another source. My comment...
They broke a 65-year winning streak in one day.
Well, and the thing is, like, the hate comments that we're getting are, you rushed to it. You should have verified it. My comment is, who should I have called?
Yeah, who were you going to call?
Who would have picked up the phone?
What, Flash Gordon? Buck Rogers? Come on, who we could,
But if this was real world, this would have been a lock the doors scenario. This is not the media sitting there, hi, ISS Mission Control, can we answer your call? No, they would have been working in
active. Would have been emergency. All hands on deck. If this had been like Apollo 13, nobody's got time to talk to the press.
Yeah, you would have got updates hours, if not days. We would have got updates. We would have had an update when we saw one of the vehicles detach from the station on the live camera.
Yeah.
That's when we would have had some sort of confirmation. And, I've never been... I mean, I get hate mail all the time doing YouTube. It's not surprising, but I have been flabbergasted at the comments coming from industry.
When we say hate mail, are we actually talking about you had to open an envelope with a stamp on the front and there was a...
No, people haven't found my address yet, I don't think, even though it is public. But no, emails, Discord messages, Twitter, to the point of almost harassment of like 15, 20 messages coming at once of you need to resign, you're a fraud, you're you're an unreliable source. You editorialized an astronaut dying. And I was like, I never said an astronaut was dying. I repeated what the woman said, and then we did the math of which astronaut would have been named as a commander, which if it was one of 4, of which one was preparing for a spacewalk that then got canceled today because the spacesuit doesn't work.
No,
So-
no, wait a minute. They said it was a space.
Uncomfort issue.
Yeah.
The lady probably grew. We don't know which astronaut. But
You know,
the
that is-
lady or the man probably grew and just doesn't fit the spacesuit anymore.
That is one of the problems with being in space for a long period of time. Your body floats in weird places.
And yes, Carl. Well, see, this is the thing, Carl, that's interesting. The only reason NASA and SpaceX put out a statement is because of us. It took me about 15 minutes to get the clips edited, which were raw clips, but I rewound, recorded them in real time, and uploaded the raw clips, unedited, but in 2 chunks. In the time we did that, no one had mentioned anything, which means no one had probably heard it. And then we did, and then everyone started responding and reporting off of that. What's really funny is that now all of the major news networks, starting at 6 a.m. this morning, started releasing stories on it. And they're all crediting people that then took our videos and reposted them. So we get no credit. And I'm like, I don't care. We're dealing with enough hate as it is. I put out a statement, and I was like, we stand by what we do. We'll always learn. We didn't do anything wrong.
I actually got a response when I posted the your video on my Facebook page from a very credible source. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah, I did.
But there is my response pretty much
Yeah.
and their response is, yeah, somebody is going to get in trouble for using wrong channel.
Yeah.
Why does this remind me of that scene from Apollo 13 where they were having the argument on the rocket and they didn't realize they were on Vox? So basically, the whole planet heard the argument. You know, and then later on, they're having another argument, and the guy goes, "Are we on Vox?" No. Go ahead, Houston.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I would if we did it again. I hope we don't ever do it again. NASA, don't do it again. My heart can't take another one. But
hey,
I don't think we would have done much different.
Well,
if it had been real world, and this is where my mind goes, if that had been real world and we hadn't done something, that hour and a half is a big difference in time with when people would have been awake. Because it happened at 5:28 Central.
well,
So you're now talking 7 Central.
I'll tell you something, Zach, just from being in the military as long as I have. With as many manned space flights as we're putting out these days, okay, something will happen.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll have to, as long as you're doing rocket news, you will have to deal with that.
Yeah.
We've been building in protocols into our systems for it.
Yeah, sooner or later, it will be an actual emergency. It's not like we haven't had them before.
Had them, last year? Was it last year or the year before, Joe? That Russia's engine just decided to light up and send the space station tumbling.
oh yeah, it's not if it happens, it's when.
It's when.
And it's how soon.
And people in Vegas are taking bets on it.
If I'm not mistaken, NASA gets a wake-up call every 7 years. Something like that.
Yeah, probably.
And we're overdue.
I think we just reset the clock a little bit.
I hope so. That means Artemis 2 is safe then.
One would
Artemis
hope.
3 still questions out.
Okay. Is Boeing or ULA involved in the Artemis mission?
Yeah.
Boeing is.
And you're asking if the Artemis is safe.
Oh, I didn't ask if it was safe. I know it's not safe.
Isn't Orion jumbo starliner?
Basically. Ryan's
So basically, it's the staycation liner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it doesn't leak. It went to the moon and back and doesn't leak.
That's when nobody was on it.
It's true. Starliner goes to the space station and gets 5 leaks. We're at 5 now, not 4. I think last time I was on here, we were at 4. We're at 5 now.
They found another one after it docked. So.
Yeah.
What now? Just out of curiosity, the helium is used to back pressure the fuel tanks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. And that's all the helium is. They don't use helium for anything else.
Not that I know of. But yeah, they've
it's,
got all of the
not
valves
flammable. It's basically a neutral gas.
Well, yeah, but I thought maybe they used it for like flushing the toilet or something.
Well, Zach, yesterday, didn't the doctor say save all oxygen on board?
Yeah, it was part of the drill. It was put him on 100% oxygen. And I would really love a full transcript from NASA to be released. And I'm debating actually sending in paperwork to request it because it should be allowed to be released under FOIA is what the drill was. Because the drill was quite extensive.
Because they were going to drop a capsule in Spain.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was Soyuz. I haven't heard that.
It should have the emergency capsule is a Soyuz. So that's what should happen.
Soyuz and Starliner are land recovery.
Right.
Yeah. And Dragon's Ocean, and the hospital was just off the coast.
I don't think they were actually going to drop it in the ocean. I think they were actually going to aim.
Yeah, I'm going to fill out that paperwork.
Hospital parking lot.
We can get the drill.
The hospital parking lot. I was about to say, yeah.
There was so many things to this, like and there was things that flagged us of like this. I even said it at one point. I was like, this sounds like a drill. And I don't know if I said it on air or when I was off air in our crew because we basically pinged everyone and got everyone on. And it was like, this sounds too good to be real world. Like the flight surgeon is stuck in LA traffic heading to Mission Control Hawthorne. She's an hour away. There's no other flight surgeons on comm at Moscow or Johnson. So she's the closest. So we're going to have to only have our calls via the cell phone. Here's the hospital information in Spain. If you need it, they have someone. Get him in his suit, and if you can keep oxygen on him until he's in his suit and it's to pressure, then we want him on 100% oxygen flow in his suit. I didn't even know the suits could do that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we want him at 100% oxygen till post-splashdown. I was like,
I'm trying to remember who the astronaut was that had the heart attack while he was on the moon. And it was one of the Apollo missions. He was on the moon, and his heart went into arrhythmia. And it was one of those. If he had been on Earth, they'd have put him in a critical care unit. That's how bad it was. But they started looking at everything, and they said, "Well, he's on the moon. That's 1/6 the gravity of Earth, so the gravity's not putting as much stress on his heart. So there's a plus." 2, he's in a spacesuit that has pure oxygen and a spaceship that has pure oxygen. So that's pretty much what we would have done if we had put him in an emergency room. Is he'd been in the oxygen tent. Says, there ain't a whole heck of a lot we can do for him, until we get him back to Earth. So that's basically just don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody under attack.
Yeah, they're not going to make cattle prods a standard piece of NASA gear.
Actually, they probably do have them on board.
Defibrillators, I bet they do.
All the government facilities have those now.
Even factories have them scattered around. They're very tiny. They are battery powered. They're good for maybe 3, maybe 4
I used to have to do the inspections on them.
Yeah.
They
are clearly labeled, but
not tampering. for emergency personnel only. This convertible.
Those little AFib units. One of the radio station DJs here in town. Do you remember Gene Lovin, John?
Yeah.
Gene Lovin was at an event at the Trade Center. 3 of those units, the batteries were dead in.
That's why you got to check them.
Yeah.
The only thing that saved his life is the event he was covering. Well, not covering. He was DJ for the Chattanooga Heart Institute's banquet.
Oh, talk about lucking out.
That's
Really?
the only reason that man is still alive.
You know, at the factory, I don't remember seeing the little check tags like they have on all the
It
fire
should be-
extinguishers.
It should be
It
in the
should have
box.
been visible. Yeah,
No, it
should be
put it-
visible through the glass door of the box.
Should be, yeah, but
Yeah.
it should be locked up. Yeah.
And no, they're not locked. I mean,
Ours
if
were.
you need,
had to
if
break
you
the glass.
need,
You either had to have the key or break the glass to get to them, so nobody will tamper with the damn thing. So,
well, these they were. I've never tried to open one, so I don't know if they were locked or not. But it
Well, they're
looked like you could just
probably
come
not.
up and pop the door off, and there it was. But it was emergency medical gear, and thankfully,
Quote.
most of the people that I worked with were intelligent enough not to mess with emergency gear as a prank.
Well, with some of the conventions at the Trade Center, it's sort of a good thing that they are sort of locked up or have to have a door ripped off with an alarm on it.
Yeah.
Because, last thing you need's a bunch of drunk congoers grabbing the
Grabbing the defib pedals and
But it's stupid o'clock.
no, I have been at conventions where people have fired off the fire extinguishers in the hallway, in the hotel hallways. So, that's
Hey,
trying to move
I
roller
thought-
chairs around.
I saw at Chattacon one year somebody had a TENS unit and the girls were using it to kiss. One had one unit, the other one had the other unit. They turned it all the way up and then they would kiss.
the astronaut that had the heart attack on the moon was James Irwin,
Wow.
and it was
Oh, didn't we lose another Apollo astronaut this week?
I thought it was last week, but yes, we did.
It's the 8th, I think.
Yeah, Apollo 8. Yeah.
Or did you mean the 8th of this month?
The 8th of this, both.
Apollo 8.
Okay. Yeah. That would have been last Saturday.
Signey saying June 7th, and it was Bill.
He was the
Okay.
one that took the famous Earthrise photo.
Yes, I do remember that in the little blurb that I read.
which, strange enough, was an unauthorized photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still the most famous one
And
they've ever
it's
taken.
it's the most famous photo NASA ever did. It's
They're going to get you for wasting film.
Well, that FOIA request is in, so we'll see how long NASA takes.
6 to 8 decades.
I've got one that's been pending for over a year and a half.
Did you tell them your mailing address?
Yes.
And folks, it's 222 Saskatchewan Highway, Yukon, Canada.
Ew.
But
Ew,
I
ew,
don't
ew.
remember the postcode.
Saskatchewan? No. If I'm
The
not
high-
giving it away what city I am in, it's on my hat.
I said it was the highway. It just means it goes there.
Um,
Calgary
geez,
Trail.
Atlanta Highway starts in Athens. I mean, seriously.
hey, Zach, the doctor that was there at NASA monitoring this thing, his name was Charles Berry, and he stated to the deputy director at the time, he goes, "It's serious. If he were on Earth, I'd have him in an ICU being treated for a heart attack. However, let's see.
However, we're on the moon.
Berry concluded that since Endeavour's cabin atmosphere was 100% oxygen when in space, Irwin was in the best circumstances. Specifically, in truth, he's in an ICU. He's getting 100% oxygen. He's being continuously monitored. And best of all, he's in 0G. Whatever strain his heart is under, well, we can't do better than 0G.
Really?
That's valid.
You need
If you're going to have a heart attack, that's the place to do it. So,
yeah, really. You need the Zero Room from Peter Davis and Doctor Who era. All right, I got to go down the hall. I will be right back.
Now you got me thinking. I'm wondering about my assigned for processing still. When did I submit this? December 12th, 2022.
Year and a half.
Yeah. And all I asked was for an audio file, which we know they have because they've edited it into a video before.
I'm doing experiments with 3D print.
Oh no, that sounds dangerous. What are you? How are you doing that?
How am I doing what?
Printing two colors at the same time?
Sharpie.
Oh my god. No, you don't. Oh my goodness.
Don't spoil the magic, Zach.
This was a good FOIA that I submitted a couple years ago. We were asking for any information on a satellite that they were like, yeah, it kind of broken in orbit. And then they didn't say anything else of it for like a year. So we're like, is there any updates? And they emailed back. They're like, well, there's 152 pages that came up in our search of the NASA administrator, the deputy administrator, and about 8 other head office people. We verified that 96 of those are unclassified. So here you go. And the other ones are there. They're just redacted. So I got sent 156 emails in a PDF. The funny thing is, we didn't get any answers on what was actually happening, other than we saw the email communications that our email FOIA request had been received, saying media is asking questions. What do we tell them? And there was still no answer. But we found out that they're like, when we're done with this, can we deal with the issue on Mars? Was like a sentence. And it was like, what issue on Mars? New FOIA request. What's wrong on Mars?
the helicopter broke. You know, they broke their little helicopter.
And it.
True, Carl.
What was it that they're doing? Every day at a certain time, it powers up, takes some readings, and then just stores it.
Good question. I didn't hear that, but probably.
Yeah, I heard it was still coming up. It comes up and tries to make contact every day. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's, hey, do you need me? Says, no, you're good. Just sit there.
No, you
Actually-
broke it. It's okay.
Oh,
Do they have anything in orbit that would fly over it occasionally and let it upload anything?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, they can
Mars,
get all the data off of it. It just can't fly anymore.
Well, I thought that was all that was wrong with it, but why are they filling up the hard drive with, hey, I'm here?
there is a new video with Jarek Isaacman out.
Ellie's?
Yeah. Talking about, Hubble.
Yeah.
And he goes, you can, spend billions of dollars trying to figure a way to raise it up, or we can do it for free.
And
He wanted-
NASA's like, free's good,
no,
but
NASA's
No.
going, no, we don't.
we have to
NASA's
put it,
for
we have to
small.
put it in for
I
bid.
got a feeling there's more on Hubble than
Hubble.
we need to know about.
Yeah.
Well, the only way to accomplish this is to just go do it and then ask for permission later. Or
What are they
ask
gonna do?
for forgiveness
What are they going to
later.
do? Shoot down a SpaceX capsule? I mean, it's
No, but
There's a first time for everything.
hey, when there's tens of billions of dollars in contracts, you really don't want to fuck around. Oh, Dan, I got something new. I got an extension. So nobody
Madonna will be
can-
happy.
So nobody can say you weren't flipping a bird. Hey, that would definitely show it, right? How do you know he flipped you a bird? Well, it had a hole in the middle of it. Good night, Carl.
Good night, Michaela.
Good night, Kate.
Carl's not leaving. Michaela is. She's heading up
Carl, goodbye. No.
here. Baloney.
Hi, Michaela. Bye,
Bye,
Michaela.
Michaela.
Zach, were you in green room last night when I told the strip club joke?
No, and I don't want to be.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
So, do we know which astronaut couldn't get in the spacesuit? Okay.
No.
Okay, we don't know which one it was. And we don't know what the actual, I mean, you think that's the sort of thing they point out and say, space is tough because this sort of stuff happens.
Yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about it. That it was like, okay, you put out a 1-paragraph update, and then nothing for now we're past 12 hours. We're at about 14, 15 hours.
They delayed the capsule from coming
Because of the spacewalk.
Because of the spacewalk. Now they're not doing the spacewalk, so I guess they just got to sit there twiddle their thumbs for a week.
Yeah, they're doing. They've got the Starliner crew helping with stuff on station.
Tote that barge, lift that bale.
I know if this was a military operation, and it sort of is, they'd have somebody up there buffing floors. I don't know how you do a 0G floor buffer, but that's...
Well, which floor? Which way?
Exactly.
All of them. The next spacewalk's in 11 days. And then there's one on July 2nd as well. But I just wanted to see if there was anything more. But
so I take it they're going to have a different crew doing the spacewalk here in a week or so, or whatever. Doing
they have not said.
Knowing a little bit about the human body changing in 0G, it would really be hard to speculate why the lady can't fit into her spacesuit anymore.
Bloating.
Well, it's.
Well, yeah, I know that's part of it, but there's also
suits are too old.
Oh, the suits are too old.
They're the original ISS space. I believe they're the original. If not, they're the second round of spacesuits that were ever taken up. So I can't remember.
They're being reused. They weren't custom made for the people that are there now.
Well, it's
correct. The EVA suits are one size fits most.
And you wear a chill suit underneath it to keep you cool. So
Stephanie Osborne has a story about that. What Carl says?
Yes.
She said that after a shuttle flight, they went in with respirators. The cleanup crew.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they don't shower enough.
And John, private chat is the start of the story.
Do not say that on air. Ever. Ever.
No, I don't want to get us canceled.
That doesn't go Facebook. That doesn't go
Okay.
Discord.
That is one of those holier than thou PC things
Yeah.
that the only people that wouldn't complain are the people being talked about in the joke. They would think it's funny as hell. Okay. And everyone else be, oh, that's terrible. How could you tell that joke about those poor people? And
punchline I just added.
Yeah. And aren't you proud?
Yep.
24/7, folks. 24/7.
Okay. Dan, I'm very disappointed in the fact that you called that a good joke.
I didn't call it a good joke.
Yes, you did. You said he told a good joke. Or no. Was Joe that said he told a good joke last night?
Joe said he told a good joke. I said he told a joke. I did not deign to give it a quality
I almost got
assessment.
kicked out of the green room.
Dang.
See, that's the problem with telling good jokes like that. Okay, is throw the holier than thou. So, how can you tell a horrible joke like that about those poor innocent people? You're just a horrible person. You should be canceled. You should be flogged. You should be purged.
You know, the only trouble with burning Joe Dog in effigy is it wouldn't last long enough. It'd go up like a hydrogen balloon.
It looked like an Estes rocket.
Looked like the Hindenburg. Oh. Oh, John left. I thought you kicked me off there for a second. You were tempted. I can tell from the look in your eyes.
No, I was trying. John didn't give me any warning. I was fixing to take off and go down the hall.
Well, go ahead. Zach and I are all right.
Yeah, I can trust Zach. You're the one that worries me.
Yes. And doesn't that just let you sleep at night so very well? Now, what kind of mischief can I get up to?
So if you're interested in Bitcoin, you just have to send us your money to...
No, please. Nobody be interested in Bitcoin. I mean, it's imaginary. Buy my books. You'll get something out of it.
Well, Bitcoin you do. You get a paper receipt.
Uh-huh.
It's worth more than the Bitcoin.
Only as a collector value long after you're dead. Hey, this idiot was stupid enough to invest in Bitcoin. He spent $150,000 and all he got for it was a paper receipt that means nothing. Carl, the bottom doesn't seem to have fallen out of it, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. It's an election year. The stock market is going to roller coaster. It already has started. But, yeah, all my retirement funds, I had to change my investment strategy so that everything was in really, really safe stuff that doesn't get affected by people in Wall Street going, it's an election year, everybody panic.
Oh, it's just getting started.
Oh, I know. Well, you see, there's a lot of them that's how they make their side hustle. They get people panicked, and then they collect all the fees for swapping their equally worthless stock around. And ride the panic train all the way to the bank.
I was looking at the tab just now, and the first thing that popped up on my feed is astronaut distress message sent in error. NASA confirms.
Yeah, it was really fun watching X update the trending tab of astronaut ISS decompression event underway to possibly is a drill. Astronauts are okay. NASA confirms was a drill, and it just like keeps changing every couple of hours, and it was just funny because it was like always somewhat wrong of what was actually happening. But
Carl, I understand. I would have, except I was advised not to follow my original plan and just cash everything out and put it in a high interest savings account. Actually, it would have taken 2 high interest savings accounts because it would have been more than the federal government guarantees through FDIC. Yes, Zach. I am that old.
I don't know
I
how
have
many
that,
acronyms
I
you
have
just
that
said.
much stashed away.
I was going to say, if you, not financial advice at all, consult a bank person, not me. Tesla. Buy Tesla.
I do not play the stock market. I just go put it in the safest stuff that you can imagine. I don't care if it only grows slowly. I just don't want it to shrink.
Fair. They're
Yeah.
estimating it will be a $7 to $9 trillion company by 2029,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a 10x multiplier of what it currently is. It'll be the single largest traded company in the world.
I would love to. The trouble is, I don't trust anybody.
Me neither.
I'm when I actually retired, I jumped through flaming hoops to take my money away, my pension away from the company and put it someplace safe where
Yeah,
the
because then
company
they
couldn't
can't
go,
not give it to you at some point.
oh, we're going to declare bankruptcy and cash in all our pension funds. And I'm sorry, everybody, that you worked for 50 years, but you're not going to get any money. And I'm going, nope. I'm too smart for that stuff. I'm taking it away. I actually lost 2 years worth of my former salary to pay the taxes on moving it all someplace safe because they had to sell all the stock and everything else
Mm-hmm.
to put it someplace safe. But it had to have the taxes paid on it, or I would wind up in a penitentiary somewhere, probably.
Free rent.
Yeah, but that, if you're a prisoner, I can't feed my wife, and she'd have to drive herself around. So she's beginning to climb out of the PTSD from the car accident in 2007. She did not drive for 10 years after that. So she's the last 4 years or so, she's got a comfort zone she's able to drive in. She won't leave her comfort zone yet, but little by little, she's making it a little bit larger of a comfort zone. And it's just fear. It's just a psychological thing from the accident, and I'm hoping that sooner or later she'll be entirely self-sufficient and independent and be able to do everything she used to do. In the meantime, I'm the chauffeur and I carry the wallet. That's about my only duties anymore. That and plumbing. Donna, I don't believe we need those anymore. Would that we did. little trailer. You have to step well back. Damn, I almost green room myself again.
Don't do that.
No, I can't do that. Dawn's not here for me to make her laugh. I mean, what would be the fun in it? I mean, seriously.
Where is Dawn?
She was here briefly. She and Carl and Donna are going to go Muncie hunting tomorrow to Terre Haute and
Oh, I need that commercial from Carl for Muncie hunting.
I keep forgetting to open my Muncie when I go out. I've been downtown 3 times.
it's your cell phone. You do with it what you want. Carl, thank you, but it's much more fun when I make her laugh when I can see her laugh.
No, I don't. I don't want to buy a streak.
You don't want to buy a street.
Yeah, it says, "Do I want to buy a streak?" Oh, I need to. Forgot how many were in South Common.
Well, have you considered buying? Well, buying it's free. Going to the website where Carl's book is and downloading it.
It's on my laptop from when I was
There
flying
you
home.
go. There
I was
you
gonna
go.
read it on the flight home, but then the lay flat chair won the battle. So, still need to do that.
Yeah. Oh, we have yet to hear anything from the young man whose car was upside down next to our driveway today. Gave him the phone number just in case his insurance agent needs to come out and take photographs of the accident scene or anything. Thankfully, all he had was scratches and maybe a busted lip, but if so, it stopped bleeding before the car got hauled off. Oh, yeah, Carl lived through it. Crawled out, walked away. Well, not far. The passenger turned out he'd skipped out on going to court over a summons to clean up his yard as an eyesore. And there was a bench warrant for the passenger.
Oh, so the passenger got a free ride out.
Wouldn't say it was quite free. He's going to have to post bond.
He got a free ride away from your place.
Yeah, that part of it was free. The consequences won't be. Luckily, the driver, totally sober. His car got totaled. I mean, the roof was crushed in. I don't even know how they managed to climb out. Both of them climb out the passenger windows. Got his tools and whatnot out of the back seat of the car. Still had stuff in the trunk. I told him, make sure you get it written down where the tow truck takes your car so you can go back, open the trunk, and get everything out of it, and take the license plate off. Because that's kind of one of the rules down here. Somebody will climb a chain link and razor wire fence to steal a license plate off of a wrecked car in order to keep from buying their own license plate. Probably because they've got DUIs or something. And like the cops are not going to run the license plate and find out it's not from this car. Because they will, they do. They've got computers now. Have you heard of those? No. A lot of people around here don't believe in them. Well, they play on their
They
cell
got
phone.
little cameras in their car now. to where a car can drive past them with a stolen tag or whatever, and it whoop. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually in a grocery store parking lot and caught somebody stealing a tag off a car and called the cops and took pictures of the people unscrewing the license plate. And the cops pulled in the parking lot while I'm still standing there. These folks ran for the woods behind the grocery store. And the cops just kind of went, "That's okay. Can we download that photo off your phone?"
What
And
I
I
don't get
said,
is we have all this
"Sure."
tech for like going through like the toll roads and stuff that they can just ping like a sensor in the car. Why do we still have old school license plates? Remove
Uh,
that fail point of being able to steal them. Like put it internally in the car, like if it was in the inside window or something. Then you can't just go unscrew it. You'd have to actually smash a window and
or just make it a chip in the car.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then if a police
because
car
we
pulls up
haven't.
next to you, they're within range.
It's tradition.
That and
Um,
there's so many old cars on the road that
that don't have electronics.
And then you
Yeah.
got all the other vehicles like trailers and boat trailers.
But it wouldn't need to have power. Like most of the toll ones are like a fold down
Yeah.
thing. Like they don't need any sort of power or brain to them.
Yeah.
Besides which, if we quit making license plate, what are all the prisoners going to do?
Sit there.
they don't make plates in prisons no more.
Nope.
They turn too many of them into knives.
Zip guns. I wouldn't want to shoot one.
They could still charge you, Carl. Because what they could do is just turn your car off. If you were making it a chip. Oh, registration's expired. Can't drive.
Yeah.
That's the-
I'm
trying to
surprised they
remember-
haven't tried to pass that one yet.
There's
Hey.
some car company that's putting something in the car now. What was it? You have to pay them to start your car. You have to subscribe to their service to start your car.
Oh,
BMW.
yeah, there's a few of them that have it. It's only if you want to use the smart features. Like you still have like a fob key that you can use, but if you
Yeah.
want to not have to use the fob and you want to have you use your phone as the key, then you have to subscribe so much.
Yeah,
a month.
there's another proposal that you basically have to blow into a breathalyzer every time you want to crank your car to
Yeah.
make sure that you're not going to get a DUI. Which
remember,
begs the question of how are you not going to get your 5-year-old son to blow in the breathalyzer so your drunk self can go down to the
Actually,
liquor store?
I was thinking more along these lines. Do you remember taking a CPR class where you had to do the practice on? They called it Recessa Annie.
Yeah.
Was the CPR dummy. Can you
Yeah.
imagine people buying those and keep it in their car just so they can blow?
Well, BMW, I think it started last year. If you don't pay them a set fee every year, the heated seats and air conditioner don't work.
I haven't heard that one. Wouldn't be surprised.
That's okay. Never going to buy a BMW anyway.
I mean, let's face it. BMW has never made a car with a working turn indicator in it that I've ever known. So,
Oh, come on.
I have never
They
seen
all work. Nobody ever uses them that drives a
That's the thing.
BMW.
I just want a Cybertruck and a Tesla. Like, I don't know which other one, but
I don't think it would have enough pressure in a balloon, girl.
You just have to get the right kind of balloon.
just a blow up.
You basically have to have an oxyacetylene tank.
Actually, they make these. They're They run on rechargeable batteries, or you can plug them into your car cigarette lighter for inflating your tires.
Yeah.
Hey, car started.
Yeah, I believe real world hacks would be able to get through that. Yeah. Somebody will come up with a way. As soon as there's a rule or a device to overcome, some bright person
Okay.
will figure out how to overcome it.
3M used to make this thing that you could put over your laptop computer screen. It's a polarized lens. So that you had to be right in front of the computer to see the screen. If you were off to one side slightly, you couldn't see the screen because of the polarization. And it was to keep your laptop information private while you were in public places, like on an airplane, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And thieves and people that didn't want people to look at the license plate on their car quickly figured out that you could trim them and put them over the license plate on your car. And the traffic cameras that would catch you for running red lights or speeding or whatever couldn't see your license plate. And 3M quickly quit making them. Well, they quit selling them in the United States anyway. So.
Yeah. And basically, you see a photo of the same car going through the same red light every day for a week. Cop sits there and waits for that car, tries to take a picture of the license plate, proves that it's got the diffuser on it.
Oh,
you
you know
over.
something? I am wrong. They do still make them.
Yeah.
Only problem is they're about $70 now.
Hey. For every rule and every safety advice ever imagined, there is a hack.
Well, the radar detectors,
Oh yeah.
they're built by the same company that makes the radar guns.
Yeah, when I started doing interstate travel again, I took the radar detector out. Basically, I don't go fast enough over the speed limit to get pulled over. And there are lots of police officers out there that love to cruise along behind you and set off your radar detector looking for brake lights. They call it their own personal radar detector. And then if the state has a law against it, you get pulled over.
That's why I love Girl on Google Maps. It gives you directions.
One of the things that I like to do, if you're on a freeway and you're worried about police officers, slow down.
Run the speed limit.
No, move over into the left lane. Slow down.
Really?
Somebody get pissed off, pass you, and take off like 80, 90 miles an hour. Then you can go as fast as you want to.
Send after rabbits.
Because they'll get him first.
If they're ahead of you. Basically, I follow the CB rule. If you're in a hurry, get behind a truck driver. When it's safe, they know they'll fly. You just
the only
pace
problem.
them.
The only problem with where I live on I-75, you can't get behind a truck driver and go fast because there's too many hills.
Yeah.
So you can get behind them for a bit, then you have to pass them, go over the hill, and then when you get to the other side of the hill, you can get behind them because they're doing 90 miles an hour.
I did that once on where I-40 split 75 coming south. That was a mistake because the car I had didn't have AC, and it was a chicken truck.
Worst one I ever did.
And another one tucked in behind me, so they had me in the rocking chair. Of course, I had a CD, and I said, "Guys, can you let me out?" And they said, "You wanted the middle? You got it." Oh, dear God. Zach, you do not know what disgusting smells come off a chicken truck.
I do.
Weekend, I was coming back from Fort Knox, Kentucky, and I was driving that old Ford Fairlane, and the AC didn't work, so I had all the windows down, and it had wing windows, so no problem. Got all the way down through Kentucky, got into Nashville, right about 5 o'clock traffic, and just it was being bumper to how Nashville is bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
I got stuck right next to a truck full of beehives.
And
No,
you
thank
had to roll your windows up, didn't you?
I had to roll my windows up and close the wing windows, and there were bees everywhere. So that's
No.
No, there was one long distance motorcycle trip where I actually left a gas station behind a really cute girl in a red sports car. I don't know what kind of sports car. Just imagine something a cute girl would drive and let it go from there. I could see the lights on her radar detector through her rear windshield. So I just started pacing her, and she was doing like 20, 30, sometimes 50 miles over the speed limit. And here I am risking my life staying close enough to where I could see her radar detector through her rear windshield. Fastest Florida trip I've ever been on, but terribly frightening. I think that was one of the last trips I ever took before I parked the bike for good. There was one I took from Athens, Georgia to Dallas, Fort Worth to Daytona. And I got horribly sunburned on the leg to Dallas, Fort Worth. And I only stopped for gas and food on the way to Daytona. And I made it from Dallas to Daytona in roughly 24 hours, almost exactly 24 hours. But I was dead tired by the time I got there. I think by the time I parked the bike, I slept for a good 6 to 12 hours, if not longer.
I used to work with a guy. He was a biker. I mean, 3 inches, 4 inch snow on the ground, motorcycle to work. Zach, we freak out with snow down here. But I said, how do you know, when you make a long ride, how long do you know when to ride and get take a break or whatever? He says, well, I average about 2 hours a tank. 2.5 hours a tank. He said, and usually the way I know I'm starting to run low is my butt goes numb. When my butt starts getting numb, I take a break.
Yeah. My Honda got about 4 hours per tank. It was a fairly large motorcycle tank.
Well, he rides the,
Yeah. And some of those have a whole lot larger tank than anything I've ever had, but a lot of them have the little.
You just need an electric bike from Tesla. There we go. Cyber bike. Fantastic idea. You're welcome.
Actually, Harley already has an electric motorcycle.
Yeah, but it's not by Tesla, so
No,
it's much better.
Maybe.
Probably. But on that big, beautiful note, there's 18 minutes left in the third period. I'm going to go yell and scream at my TV, so I might be back.
Who's winning?
We ain't talking about that.
So how bad is it?
Let's just say we need to score 4 times to win.
I don't think you're going to do that in 18 minutes, but it's possible.
We can do it. There's hope. We could, maybe not injure their players just a whole bunch and send them into their locker room, and then we could score a lot.
A lot of lucky shots.
Well, we've had 29 shots on net, and we got 1 in. And we've had 18 shots. They had 18, and they've had 4 in. What's concerning is we've had 29 shots on net. We had 27 shots on net when we went into the first intermission. We just finished the second intermission. So in 23 minutes, we've had 2 shots. So that's a problem. They're actually here. They're at the arena downtown for this game and the next one. So,
well, good luck.
Yeah.
We need it. We want the cup. We've made it this far, so we're happy. We got the Western Conference, but it's so close.
Yeah.
But it's I went to the watch party 2 days ago when they were still down in Florida, wherever, and even tonight, I have never seen as violent games played as these two teams. 5-minute main penalties, multiple power plays constantly, multiple players thrown out of the game for the day. Every time there's a whistle, someone tries to fight from the last game and tonight. So both teams want it. Just for some reason, our goalie was crap tonight. So, I will see y'all either later tonight or tomorrow in Green Room.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, Lindsay's home team's fans are the same way. They get all the way up to the finals, and then somebody usually knocks them out. And it's somebody, she goes, I can't even hate them. I respect them too much because, they're good. And, but we wanted that cup.
Hey, it's just like the Falcons and the Braves. They choke at the last minute.
Not really, no. Portsmouth doesn't choke. They just, how do we explain British soccer?
Well, Dan, you've heard that saying, go Braves and take the Falcons with you.
I say it regularly, believe me. And sometimes I even apply it to Athens when I'm real tired of hearing people go, oh, this is going to be the year the Bulldogs go all the way. Well, I just say, bye-bye. Let's hope they never come back. If I had a machine that made earthquakes, right in the middle of the game, the earth would open up, swallow both teams and all the fans, and then close back up again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night.
Well, have you noticed we haven't had big earthquakes since the space shuttle quit flying?
I don't think there's any correlation. I notice we've had plenty of rain, and there's plenty of people that used to tell me every time they launch a rocket, there's a hurricane or a big thunderstorm or something happening.
Damn Elon.
No, it's just whenever he blows something up, the concussion starts a rainstorm.
Zach's already gone. They just landed their 300th rocket. Landed. Since 2015.
Yeah.
What was the thing, John?
Can you imagine if Sea Dragon had launched, what that would have done to the weather?
Good Lord. Well, we got something close called Starship.
Yeah, but Sea Dragon started off in the water, didn't finish up in it.
Imagine if the original Orion had been built and launched, how that would affect the weather. Talk about acid rain. You'd be able to see the drops coming down because they'd be glowing in the dark all the way.
Oh, Ryan, that was the nuclear.
Yeah, the original concept. Yeah, that was, I think, the British Rocket Society.
I would love to see them build a nuclear second stage.
I would love to see them build any kind of nuclear rocket in space.
Well, you got to
Of
get the
course,
shit up there
You
first.
got to get the stuff up there, but there are ways to make that safe.
Hey,
And then you've got to worry about traffic patterns and making sure nobody else goes through any impromptu radioactive waste that gets left behind. Of course, some of them, the only thing that's radioactive is the heat source for the fuel. The fuel does not touch anything radioactive. It just gets boiled like a steam engine by the pile without ever coming in contact to it whatsoever. Then goes out the thruster nozzle, and that's a beautiful concept if somebody can make it work.
They were experimenting with nuclear reactors on bomber type aircraft a long time ago.
Yes, I remember that.
And they actually flew active nuclear reactors on board the aircraft. Of course, the aircraft wasn't powered by them. They just flew the nuclear reactor to see if it would actually work on an airplane, which God helps anybody if it crashed. But
Yeah,
strange
there
thing,
was.
they still
Go ahead.
exist. They took the reactors out of the planes. They're still sitting out there at the test facility. The nuclear reactors are just sitting there.
Yeah.
Defueled them and everything, and just there it is.
Well, what are you going to do with? What are you going to do? Drain the fuel? What
Exactly
do you do
what
with it then?
Yeah.
No, the
Yes.
Russians had a design. I don't think they ever built it, but it was not only powered by nuclear reactors, but the exhaust was radioactive as well.
We had a cruise missile that was going to do that, called a SLAM. You can look it up on the internet. It was a cruise missile that carried other cruise missiles. And not only could it nuke enemy cities, but as it flew over, the exhaust was radioactive. So it was.
That was one. I would call that a weapon of last resort. It's certainly going to mess up a whole lot of things for a whole lot of people. And
Supposedly,
seriously,
we don't have any of those anymore.
supposedly.
what?
SLAM missiles. The original one, not the later one.
There's a lot of things supposedly we don't have anymore that I bet somebody's got a stash of them hidden somewhere.
The anti-satellite
Yeah.
missile that they used to. They did that one test launch of an anti-satellite missile where the F-15 had to go up, do that really steep climb, and then launch the missile to take out the satellite.
Yeah, and
And
it did. The missile did actually hit the satellite.
And supposedly, we decided never to build it. Supposedly.
Well, mainly because of the space junk that it left was.
Yeah. My reaction to that is the same reaction I have to people going, "Oh, we got an asteroid coming in, just nuke it." Great. You're exchanging a lethal bullet for a lethal shotgun blast. Okay.
Nudge it off.
Yeah, really.
Start early.
Yes, start way early. Put a sail on it. If you have to use a nuke, boil one side so it thrusts sideways to change the orbit. Yeah, blowing it to gravel is not helpful. The gravel is still coming.
Yeah, I do like the idea they've got about.
Then it's nuclear gravel.
Uh-huh.
I do like the idea they've got about hitting it with a laser on one side.
And boiling it, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd work really well on comets. It really would. That ice, I mean,
But
you
but
see the tail come off.
with our luck, we'd hit it with a laser and split it into two. Oh, great! Now we got two of them coming. Hit it again. Now we got three. Hit the big one. Now we got four. Oh fuck!
I love that one. I love that one commercial where the asteroid's heading toward Earth. Everybody goes outside and they're all staring up, looking at it, and everybody in the world is like looking at their watches and looking at this thing, looking at their watches, and just before it hits the atmosphere, all these bells start ringing. Everybody jumps up as high as they can in the air, hits the ground, and you see it from orbit. Here comes the asteroid, and all of a sudden, just as it's about to hit Earth, the Earth jumps out of the way.
Hey, what I would love to figure out is if we could get everybody in the world to run due east at the same time and stop at the same time. What would happen?
They'd be really tired.
Well, New York City found out what happens when everybody flushes their toilet at once. Remember the last episode of MASH?
Yeah.
What was one? It says anytime they had one of those world premiere movies on TV, like the last episode of MASH, the last episode they called it, if I remember correctly, they called it the Seinfeld effect. Because everyone in New York was watching Seinfeld, and every time there was a commercial, all the toilets would start flushing in the sewer system, get inundated.
Well, folks, never let it be said we didn't bring you classy, crappy content. Oh, Lord. And we still have 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And then I've got to somehow follow this mess for another 2 hours. And Rob got me at least 4 new subscribers. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Are you off from work yet, or cruising home already, or what?
He is, at this time, he is probably getting ready to clock out.
Well, don't be texting us in traffic. You know better.
Yeah, video call us.
Yeah, I still think that one cop that pulled us over right after we left LibertyCon hadn't even got up to the speed limit yet. Just saw all the fog lights and the cameras and everything I've got on the van and go, okay, I've got to find out what this is all about. And then he walks up to the passenger window next to Lindsay, looks in. I've got 2 GPS units and a backup camera showing his flashing lights in the backup camera. And he's just going, yeah, you were doing 90 miles an hour. And I'm going, I hadn't even got up to 65 yet, dude, but I'm not going to argue with you. Whatever you say. And he asked me what the speed limit was through there. And I said, well, yeah, the sign I just passed said 70, and I hadn't even got up to 65 yet. He goes, no, my radar clocked you at 90. And I'm going, not with my wife in the car, you didn't. You know how loud she would scream if I got up that fast? Uh, no, I'm glad that she and I had this little talk today about bringing the red car to LibertyCon rather than the van, because we're not going to be vending. We're not going to be needing to tote stock.
And it's comfortable.
It's got a working air conditioner, whereas the van does not. There's a whole lot of difference between driving in June and July
And driving in October.
and driving in October. Um, I've just got to update the GPS maps so that we can do our usual bypass of Atlanta entirely. And yes, I know it's faster to go to 285 and hit 75 and go on up, but it scares the living daylights out of me because I feel like I'm the only one on that road that knows how to drive.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Dan. Everybody on that road thinks they know how to drive.
Yeah, I know, and it's obvious they don't. It's quite obvious they don't. And they can't read either. Or either that or they think 285 is the speed limit and not the highway designation. So we go up to 85, go south a little bit, turn off on 20, go up to, what is it, Clarksville, where 20 hits 75, and then go north.
Oh, Dan, you heard about the carload of nuns getting pulled over on 85, didn't you?
Here we go again.
Trooper walks up. The three nuns in the back seat are just sitting there, scared to death. He goes, "Ladies, it's okay. There's, she was going a little over the speed limit, but everything's fine." And the nun driving goes, "Officer, I was doing the speed limit. I saw the sign back there. It says 85. He goes, "No, ma'am, that's the highway number. The speed limit is 70 up through here." The other one in the back seat reached around and slapped her. She said, "I told you it was a road sign, not the speed limit." The other one beside her says, "Yeah, we just came off 285.
I was waiting for the cop to walk away and the nuns to pull out the beer that they had carefully hidden under their habits when they got pulled over.
Hey, all I'm going to say is when they're away from the mother house, alcohol may be consumed. I'll tell you in person, Dan.
Hey, I've seen the Flying Nun. I know all about that.
I know. I'll tell you real world stories.
Oh God! Like I'm gonna believe you. I know you.
My aunt was a Dominican sister.
You're not above embellishing, shall we say?
Oh, is it is it over yet? No.
Nope.
We've run out of stuff to talk about, and nobody wants to come in.
Well, I mean, seriously.
We've only got 3 people watching. 2 on HallowCon online. One of them's you.
Yeah.
The other on Stupid O'Clock. Ah, crap. Okay,
What?
yeah, I am live on X. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a check mark and everything.
Yeah. No, someone posted, that people should stream to X, and they can use any platform. Mentioned all of them, and I replied back to him. I said, "Yeah, I live every Thursday at 9 and every Saturday at 11 on X using a platform called StreamYard." Had 8,000 likes to that. Where the hell are they?
Hey. Back when Apelian had hit counters to count how many people clicked on the pages. The Spaceport Bar Story page had 10 million clicks.
Damn. All right.
Sold the book. How many copies you think I sold?
Who knows? I'll be right back. I gotta be.
It sure wasn't 10 million, I'll tell you that right now. It was a tiny percentage of 10 million, a very tiny percentage of 10 million. It was basically a zero followed by a decimal sign and several other zeros before you got to the percent that it was. Which just proves that a lot of people are willing to get something for free, but when they got to plunk down $20, they're gone with the wind. And you're standing there like Scarlett O'Hara watching Rhett Butler walk out the door, and he just delivered his famous line. All I wanted to do was be able to retire and write for a living. Now I'm retired. Thank God I had the stock market to fall back on. Oh, my publisher has got us signed up with an independent company that is supposedly listing us to libraries and things. Hey, Mike Jimmy. Didn't expect to see you this time of the morning.
Hey, Mike Jimmy.
Aurora must be waking up and wanting breakfast.
She's about 6 months old now, isn't she?
Dan, I got to interrupt because I just saw the funniest damn thing I've ever seen.
Uh-oh.
Yourself in a mirror?
No. Donna's into watching these reality court drama shows, to where like People's Court, but whatever.
Yeah.
And she's watching one now called Personal Injury. And this guy, the judge ruled for the guy because he tripped. A guy said something to him. He tripped, fell backwards, and broke his shoulder when he fell. Judge ruled in the guy's favor against him. What the guy said to him was, "If you don't get back, I'm going to kick your ass." He got $5 million. Guy was harassing him, told him, "Back off or I'm going to kick your ass." He backs up, trips over something, falls, breaks his shoulder, wins $5 million from the guy. The guy turns around and says, "I told you, if you don't back up, I was going to whoop your ass. It just cost me $5 million. I'm whooping your ass." And the bailiff had to pull him off.
Yep. Hey, I paid for this.
Hey, if I'm going to pay you $5 million, you're going to get an ass whooping.
And you're going to remember it the rest of your life. Oh, Lord, yeah.
Oh, Donna was in tears laughing. I was laughing. Ooh, okay. I feel better now.
I imagine.
I
So.
don't think that was staged.
If it was, there are some soap operas that need to hire those script writers.
Hell yeah. Because the boy connected a punch.
Hey, Lindsay's watching stuff she's been watching for years, and she's going, "Oh, this is so predictable. I mean, seriously." And I'm going, "Honey, it's script logic. It's not real world logic."
Yeah,
They're
real world logic. If if a hospital lost, mixed up that many babies, General Hospital would have been put out of business back in the 60s.
Yeah, if they made it that long, maybe the 50s. And believe me, as the world turns, would have been a screeching halt, basically. Um, there's a reason why the only soap opera I really got interested in was Dark Shadows,
Yeah.
because you knew somebody was either going to get bit or staked or run into a ghost in just about every episode, or at least once a season.
I wish they would bring back the late night soap operas, but like Dark Shadows.
You know, they did a Dark Shadows revival with a couple of the original actors, and it was excellently done. It reused some of the original scripts, so it was basically a repeat of the. I don't think it was the first season. I think it was like the third or fourth season, wherever uh, Jonathan Frid came in as Barnabas, because that was where it really picked up. So wisely, they decided to eliminate some of the earlier stuff that was just kind of not knocking it out of the park.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We didn't have Dawn to dance, so I was here.
You're going to have to get with Dawn and find out where she got that sock.
She made it.
Okay. I did not know she could knit.
Well, she made the sock. It's a Hanes sock. She dyed
Oh,
it.
she tie-dyed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nope, you didn't. There it is. Yeah. It's usually about the 10-minute till mark.
I always go for
Sometimes-
8 minutes till. You know,
Yeah.
that's-
As I started to say, sometimes it's a little later. Depends on whether or not the conversation is rolling. And we have not had that problem in the last 20 minutes, I'll tell you that. But
Well, I know what the problem is, Dan.
I am not drunk.
Yes, you are.
I am not fucking drunk.
Can you tell the time?
Yes. I am not fucking drunk.
What?
I'm actually not yet. I'm working on it. I'm attempting that state of mind, but it's still quite a ways off. I mean, I did go get a haircut today, and that took like 4 hours because I had to wait on Lindsay to get her hair dyed and trimmed and straightened and blow dried and all this, and I'm going.
Getting ready for LibertyCon.
Yes, and church Sunday. Um, Usually about once a month she'll go and get her roots touched up and things like that. But this time I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to LibertyCon, so I better go get my hair cut. And I still haven't trimmed my beard yet. So.
Well, Donna has embraced the gray.
Oh, Lindsay's threatening to. And I look, I came back and I noticed myself here, and I go, damn, some of my hair still has a color. Not much, but some of it. I do look extinguished, and I do mean extinguished, like a cigar in an ashtray. But and Aunt Donna will probably tell me that I'm still cute, no matter how gray I am.
Oh, Dan, I'm getting notifications your show starts in just a few minutes.
Well, I guess I better start up the other channel then. Otherwise, it's going to be late. It takes about 2 minutes to run high flight. So, you're getting on down to the wire where you can actually go to bed.
No, I'm going to play with the printer a little bit more.
Oh, okay. That's good too.
I mean, I love printing supersized prints. Those are awesome.
When they work. All right, I got to hit the go live button here. The first go live button, not the second one. There's nobody here but me. Not even the chickens. So
I can't believe Donna didn't even pop in just to flip me off.
She's in the chat, or she was. She said good morning to Mike Jimmy.
Yeah. I figured she'd at least pop in and go, Joe Doc. And then leave.
She'll probably do that on my show.
All right. Well, let's say with that, we're at the 25-minute mark. So with that, let's just say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
night, everybody.